Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Barrett in Seattle, Washington. It's a Tell the Truth Wednesday, and the lady who's going to be helping me tell the truth is, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the lady with the lustrous hair, Jennifer Fallah Doring in Hayden, Idaho. Jen, how are you on this wonderful Wednesday?
Great. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It's been a week. A lot of things have happened. If you don't mind, I kind of want to go over a lot of things that have happened in the last week and some of my experiences. For starters, I've got a pretty new Alienware laptop that I bought, and I got myself a ResMed Air Mini CPAP machine for traveling in the hopes that on long flights, like it's a 10-hour flight from Seattle to Amsterdam and then a 1-hour flight from Amsterdam to Manchester, that I'd be able to sleep. But I can't sleep in a couch seat even if I have the CPAP machine. But it served me well. It served me well when I was there. And then yesterday, going through British security at 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning Manchester time, which is 10 o'clock at night, your time, Monday, here in America. They have a different security system, and they wanted to search my carry-on backpack. And anyway, bottom line, to make a long story short, is I misplaced my computer and my ResMed machine, and they got stolen. So that's $2,500 worth of computer equipment and
that sucks.
And the machine that I bought specifically for long international travel are gone. However, the packaging is beautiful. And so, I just lost $2,500, and I didn't even realize it because I was so busy. They in security over there, they make you separate everything. I had like 6 bins instead of like one. In America, you'd have, your shoes and your belt and stuff in one bin and your backpack in another, and that's it. No. And I think, I don't know, they just confused me, and it was 6:30 in the morning my time, and I was in a rush, and I was jet lagged, and it just sucks.
Oh, yeah, I'd totally lose everything at 6:30 in the morning. That would be me.
$2,500 down the drain, and it just blows. It just blows. However, I did have a really wonderful experience at the Manchester Awakening show. We had over 200 people there and 40 more people who paid and didn't show up. So we had a really good crowd in a little hotel. I want to share some of the pictures with you guys. And this is flying in over England. The English countryside looks like you would expect the English countryside to look. It's hedgerows and fields and farms and sheep and stuff like that. It was really cool. So I had a really, I think there's a football ground coming up here. It was very nice approaching Manchester. And then let me go to some other pictures. Oh, that's the Sky Chopper. Maybe I can go. That was me waiting in the hotel. Let me close this and show you a couple other. Oh, by the way, happy birthday yesterday to the beautiful Blair Bressler, Brian's sister Blair. I love you, Blair, and happy birthday. She is the blonde in the upper left-hand corner of the picture that Shay made for me for all my girls. As you can see, I'm wearing the same clothes I was wearing before yesterday. Here's a little shot of me when I was up doing my lecture. I put a thing, I captioned this photo. This is one of the best ones. Tony Barry, a friend of mine from Boeing, said, fuck Anovia. Anovia was a software program we both did support for in like 2007 at Boeing. That one really cracked me up. Third row blue hair, come up here a second. Liverpool one, yeah, whatever, fuck you. So anyway, that was fun. It was me doing the lecture at the show. Couple pictures of me. English architecture is very weird. Everything is 2 stories and no more than that. And, you know, some of these buildings, you look at them, they got to have been built in the 40s or just after World War II or whatever. I went to Etihad Stadium, Manchester City Stadium, and picked up some presents for me and for my brother Dave. There's my present. This is a quick shot of about 200 and some people. It's not the whole thing. It's spread out to the corners of the actual show. What I like to do is I like to ask people, how many of you are not on social media? And then they raise their hands and I take a picture and I say, well, you are now. So, and then this is Liberty. I told her it was really sad that she was named after the really bad 1989 Duran Duran album. That's Liberty. She was friends with Whitley Strieber. Whitley was staying with her family. This is a little dinner thing. There's Whitley and some other people. A little dinner thing we had the night before, or Friday night when I got there. Unbelievably, that's Richard Doty in the corner. And okay, a few other things. I guess that's it. I guess that's my Instagram pictures, I think. I don't think there's a whole lot more from it. But then I have a few more on Facebook. Let me go through these. And sorry to bore you guys, but I really want to show everybody.
No, we want to know.
Show everybody what's been going on. Yeah, this is the show. That's Mumtaz. I've met her 3 times. She's come to see me in Manchester. This is our third. I guess this is the third date. So she came, and that again, that's the same shot. This is Whitley Strieber giving his talk. These are the little blue aliens that he first saw as they were depicted in a film called Communion, about his book Communion, which is the first book he wrote about his experiences of having been abducted by aliens. And he says they're actually a lot uglier in real life than they were in the movie. And I'm like, that's saying something. He gave an absolutely wonderful lecture about his lifetime of being abducted. Yes, Jen?
A lot of people are commenting that they cannot see what you're talking about.
Oh, what?
I can see it.
Why would you not be able to see it? Screen share. We go window.
People are saying no pics, all pics. No photos showing.
Can you see it now? Let's try it this way.
Haven't seen any of the pics.
People are still not seeing the pictures?
Jen, you're psychic. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Leslie. Talk to you later. I can't see either. That didn't work. Well,
go entire screen. Why would it not work today of all days? Now can we see them? Somebody? Anybody?
Nope. Just you and Jen.
It's fucking weird. Crazy.
That is weird. Because I can see it.
What? Oh, well. What is going on? What is going on? What the fuck? You got to be fucking kidding me.
Go to the roid rage. It's okay.
Well, I'm off the roids, but this is really making me fucking angry. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to see this. It clicks in then.
It's got to be with the streaming.
Try YouTube. No pictures to look at. What the hell? Fuck. Some of the same picture. So you cannot see me with my friend Adam. You literally can't see Adam.
What if you take us off? What if it's just what you're sharing and not us?
Okay, stop screen sharing. But then I mean, this has happened before. When it was just me. Let me turn the chat overlay off. Now let's try it. See if that works. Okay. But will you be able to see the chat? That's a good question.
I can see it.
Okay, now can people in stream see it?
Can you guys see it now? Can see now. Working.
So they can see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start over.
Okay.
Show the pictures.
So that's part of the audience. That's my friend Montage. That's the stadium. Those are just pictures of me getting ready to leave. This is Whitley Strieber giving these are the blue guys. We can see this now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And his experiences, and he's been through so much, and he's a very sensitive, super intelligent man. And there's no question he's telling the truth. And the funny thing is that like the night before I woke up at 3 a.m. And I don't know why I woke up, but I'm figuring out it's jet lag, It took me a while to get back to sleep. I finally got out of sleep. So he's talking, he's telling everybody, well, I still get visited all the time, he says. And I got, and I get visited occasionally during the day. And I think he said, I meditate twice a day, once at 1 a.m. in the afternoon and once at 3 a.m. And guess whose room was right next to mine? His. So maybe his friends were dropping by. I don't know.
Does he talk to these blue people in meditation or what?
Yes, he does, and he talks to them.
Is that hair on those aliens,
and face to face? What's that?
Is that hair?
No, those are like robes over the tops of their heads. So, but he's someone with maximum dignity and credibility, and really, really loved being able to have some deep conversations with him. And this is my friend Adam Greaves. Adam has been to all the shows I've been to there. We're good buddies. And it was great to catch up with Adam again. There's more pictures of me and Liberty. This is Adam's dad, Doug. Doug is a wonderful guy, but he's going to have a heart surgery soon. And they're concerned he's not going to make it. So,
Adam, send me his. I've spoken through Bob's show with Adam and his dad. Mm-hmm. Send me his picture, and I'll do a healing.
Okay, well there he is, and I will send this to you a little bit later.
Yeah,
Doug Greaves, he's a wonderful guy. Come out also. Another picture of me. Okay, so those are done. And then there's some other pictures some other people posted. This is Karen Barclay, and she gave me a gift bag, including that Scottish flag back there. She came all the way from Scotland, and some scotch. I'll show you that scotch in a little minute.
Oh, that's nice.
Bit. And it was really nice. And here she is with Steve Mira. Steve is one of the guys that works for Zohar Entertainment, was also there, spoke. Great guy. He and I think a lot along the same lines. Me and Karen and her other friend, Steve and her two friends. And it was just basically a fun evening, fun afternoon, fun evening all day long, all the way around. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody. Also, thank you to Jackie Highway, who did a whole bunch of yeoman's work. Here's the bottle of scotch. I am not a scotch drinker, but I imagine this is really good. And I will be, next time I do Whiskey and Wisdom with Mark Z, I will be drinking some of this Scottish Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Thank you very much for all that. So let me tell you something else, too. If Jennifer Falah ever gives you advice about the opposite sex, about a boy or a girl, believe it, okay? Because Jen knows what she's talking about. Absolutely nailed it. 100%, absolutely. So Jen knows what the hell she's talking about. So I had a great time. The only thing spoiling it all now is that I lost my computer and my sleep aid machine, which is really, really miserable. So. And I'm jet lagged.
Someone take that, or did you just lose it?
I just left it there. I left it there, and then somebody took it. I mean, I know where it is. I have a report. I can go to Microsoft and I can look up the location, and they think it's here, but that might be my hotel room. I don't know, but I've locked it, and then I'm going to remove it so that they can't get in and get to my files or anything. yeah, it's probably gone. So it's just unfortunate and just stupidity and too early in the morning and being in a rush and it was so weird because I went to go get my CPAP machine out to try it on the flight last night, and I reached in there and I didn't feel it, and I was like, and I thought to myself, I don't remember putting it back in my bag in my carry-on luggage, and I didn't.
It's probably in the hotel room. You could call the hotel and ask them to.
No, it's at the security checkpoint at the airport.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because they made me take everything out. Well, that's the thing in America, I don't have to do that. I just leave it all in the bag. They look through the bag, but then they wanted to check my other carry-on backpack, and that distracted me for 15 minutes.
So there's no way anybody's going to say nobody's going to know what the hell happened. Ship back, right? What's up?
Yeah, and well, no, I mean, I went to the City of Manchester airport site online on the airplane, filed my reports, and they came back 5 minutes later and said, "Oh, we don't have either one of them," which means somebody at airport security has a new laptop and a CPAP machine. I should go to eBay and look for Manchester, England CPAP machine, AirRes.
I mean, why would anybody want to steal that?
Yeah, there it is. So because most people don't use it or need it. So there were ups and downs, but I want to just thank everybody there. I want to thank Mustafa for driving me around. You're a wonderful guy. I told him to go take a trip to Vegas for his next vacation. He's a great guy. So many of the other folks I met there, and again, Whitley Strieber and Richard Doty. Richard Doty is a super intelligent man. I've not worked with him before. We really realized we have slightly different pieces of the same puzzles, and so we really were able to add to each other. And it was funny because the presentations weren't planned this way at all. Nobody even talked about what they were going to talk about, but then Steve opened, and then Richard came up, and then I came up, and we just totally it was as if we had planned the whole thing, because we set each other up very, very perfectly. And then Whitley came on and talked about his abduction experiences, and then we had a panel afterwards, which was really interesting. And a couple of things. Richard Doty, when he was briefed into the CIA, he was actually shown footage from Roswell. He was shown film footage. He said, yeah, there was a crash. There were bodies, and there was one live one. And he's seen all that. And I've never talked to anybody who's actually seen that. And he's a person of credibility on the level of the mechanic in terms of credibility. So not to bore everybody with everything about that, but Jen, that's what was going on in the alien world for the last 4 or 5 days. And I've been trying to keep track as best I could on Telegram and stuff, what's been going on in the other world. And I saw your Gentel notes from yesterday. So why don't you just quickly summarize what you got and where we're at again, if you don't mind.
Okay, so hold down the fort while you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, I did a live. Let's get back to Friday. All right. All right. In a nutshell. Huh?
You got your Gentel banner there. So.
Okay. So, I'm just looking over my notes from Friday. So in a nutshell, I talked a lot. There was a lot of information. So we will see drastic measures coming about the economy crashing. The economy is crashing. We will see drastic measures to save the current system. The most important information I believe that I got was the delay in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
Is because Donald Trump's primary position all this time is, from what I got, pretty much chief financial negotiator for the alliance for Nasara Jasara.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how he negotiates. If something happens, there's something to be done, and he doesn't feel that this is going to work, and he doesn't like it, doesn't get what he wants, he'll say, well, why don't you work on that? Get back to me. or he'll walk and he'll wait. And so it made a lot of sense with all the delays, with all the people coming out with information that's supposed to happen and then nothing happens. Well, Donald Trump. And I suspect that was for a good reason. Now, while you were gone, we had Leahy in the hospital.
Yep.
I don't know if he got out. I keep asking people, and it was over the weekend. I was busy, and but pretty sure he's gone.
We did hear that he was scheduled to be released or was released, but we saw no evidence of that, I don't think. So, and we don't know where released to, nor do we know which hospital. I looked through when it first came out, Jen. I looked through 5 or 6 articles, and none of them would say which hospital he was in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I had put out so much information over the last, while you were gone, I was just on it. Okay, so contracts expired. The enemy can no longer operate under the dark of night. I don't know if I'm reading the right notes. What the hell was the date on that? I'm not. Hang on. I went back too far.
No, it's okay. Just relax. I mean, I'm still jet lagged. I'm
relaxed.
Good.
Okay, so basically the gist of things is that Donald Trump is the one negotiating this Jasara. That's why Charlie Ward and Simon Parks never understood why they were so concerned with the United States if they're over there. You know, everybody's looking to the United States. Well, that's because, and that's why because Trump is the one who gives the final go. Like, yes, everything is in order. Let's do it. I am happy. On the RV and Jasara, it's apparent that everything is ready to go. But we had that problem in the Ukraine. I was told that the cabal, everybody and their mother sending money to the Ukraine. So Putin's told to go take out the cabal element hiding their operations in Ukraine. Did that. Still some bad guys there. And they said, you know what? Okay, we're just going to rally the world around us and we're going to have them all give us money. We're going to turn it into gold and silver. We're going to stockpile in Ukraine and we're going to use it to come back. And so Donald Trump's like, no, get in there and get it. We cannot do this if they do that. And so delay there. And that's why we saw more actions in Ukraine.
Yeah, is it true? There's rumor going around that Putin has declared martial law in the new regions, you know, the Donbass and all those. Do we know if that's true? Do we know if that's true?
I saw reports this morning. I haven't asked about that. I don't think so.
Okay.
So on Friday, we were talking about how I told everybody, okay, if Leahy went into the hospital, whether he survives or not, or they're ready to tell us, foreshadowing that he's out. Either way, not well enough to take the presidency. And look for more news about Pelosi, Kamala, and Biden. So the Grassley can step in. I told you a long time ago that when it was time, these people are going to get pulled out real quick so that he can step into place. What else happened? So we've got Gentile from yesterday. The 17th and the 18th were the meditations. On the 17th, Grassley was on my mind. And will Senator Grassley step in as president? I heard yes, 20 days. That was in the evening, so I assume 20 days starts on the 18th. We have to wait 20 days. That would be the 7th. That would be the day right before the election. And I was like,
wow.
I also got, I've been putting information out on shows. I've been putting information out on Telegram. And that's when I got information about Donald Trump all this time. His primary position was that, to head up the financial. That's why he flew around the world. That's why he met with everybody. It wasn't about, oh, yeah, you're so popular and we like you now. Come on in. Let's all just meet and smile at each other. No, it's money. It's the only way he's going to get in there. And it wasn't just about negotiations and relations with the United States. It was about getting these people signed on and negotiating terms for Jassara. So yesterday, I did a show, and it's on Jennifer Falad Doring on YouTube, or Beacon of Light Radio on YouTube. So I asked, he said, yes, in 20 days for Ashley to step in. I said, why doesn't Pelosi take the job? She is disqualified, is what he said. I said, why? And he didn't give me an answer at the time, but I kind of got the feeling that she no longer had the opportunity or is no longer in line. And then in the morning, I went back in, and I said, yesterday you said, because I was nervous about the 20-day thing, because then I was going to be stressed out for like 20 days waiting for this to happen, right? So, I said, how does that happen? And I got a rundown. Now, you know, God willing, it'll all go this way as I got. If I'm wrong, whatever. I said, how does this all go? Like, what's the road to Grassley stepping in? And he said, there will be an excursion in the North China Sea.
An excursion? Like, that's an interesting word. Yeah.
Excursion in the North China Sea. And so I'm like, North China Sea, it doesn't sound like correct, you know, like, and sometimes he'll use wording or terms or call a nation or area by its old name, so that I'll go look it up and look. So I looked it up, and it's actually the Yellow Sea. It's right next to North and South Korea. This is related to Biden. There will be an excursion in the North China Sea. Biden is heading that excursion up without Congress approval. And what do you need Congress approval for? Declaration of war. Without Congress's approval. And what have we been waiting for? That I told you a long time ago. Biden will be removed for trying to start a world war. Kamala does resign. And recently, we've been seeing what I think is foreshadowing of events to come. They'll do that sometimes, and we've seen it before, where they slip, oh, that was fake. That was a fake post. Oh, this one's not legitimate. Oh, that was... So they just slip in an idea to the public, you know. And we're seeing foreshadowing about Leahy, about Kamala, about Biden, and now comes out a post a couple days ago that, or maybe it was yesterday, I can't remember, but Kamala had resigned, but it was an old post, and everybody said, oh, disregard that. But it set that idea into your mind, didn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Or was are these just sneaky ways to tell those who know or are looking what's coming? Biden is removed for trying to start a world war. Pelosi is disqualified for involvement, he said. And then he told me something that I have suspected and not put the pieces together this whole time. Pelosi is the leader. Not Biden, not Obama in the basement. Pelosi has been telling him what to do this whole time. Wow. She was appointed to be in charge, and so she, behind the scenes, has been telling the Biden administration what to do, and then over there in the House, doing her thing. Involved in what? I don't know. There's a basket of things we could choose from. You want to talk the pandemic, January 6th, the fraudulent Biden administration, on and on and on. So we'll see how that turns out. But he is disqualified. Leahy's out because he is in poor health, or they announce his death. Either one. Grassley's in. Election is interrupted over the weekend that I got, or what it was Friday, I don't know, it's a big blur now. I got that the election starts, okay? I don't know if that's the day before. If it is, that lines up with the 20 days. What I saw with this election is them on the news, like the news talking about it. It's starting, reporting on it. I don't know if they start the day before with early voting or whatever. And it blacks out. Just everything blacked out. So, look out for that. All right, and then let's see, what else did we get?
Oh, I wanted to ask, what about the rumor that there was an Iraqi delegation that went to Washington from their new government, and that Trump met with them?
Oh, that was Friday's show, yeah.
Did we cover that specifically? Okay.
Yeah, you guys can watch this on, I don't know if I streamed to Philosophy, Jennifer Faladoring on Friday, but I did stream to Beacon of Light Radio, and both of my shows from Friday and Tuesday are there lining this all out. But, yes, that is true. And it was about, there was a problem in Iraq, Russia, and then it was also Russia delegates, I believe.
Okay.
That was about Ukraine. And did we get all the money? Have we stopped that? Because what they were doing is they were stockpiling gold. And somehow, I don't know how this works, but I believe that it was affecting the gold price or the silver price or something. But they were trying to rebuild. And we can't have that if we're going to move into the system. They were told that was them. So they were told by Trump, fix it, report back to me when it's done. That was them reporting back. Now, how that meeting went, I don't know. Because whether he was satisfied with the results, I don't know. I think so. Because I feel like we're just right there and we're moving forward. We were waiting for a big something from Phil, who got intel. His big something was supposed to keep us up at night with excitement. Okay, it wasn't tragedy. It wasn't, and everybody's like, oh, Leahy. No, it's not Leahy. And nobody cares. We just want him out of the way. That's not big. And then he couldn't go live. Okay, and so this morning, you guys need to go watch his little video he put up this morning.
Yeah, I saw it. I haven't had a chance to watch
Not at face value. Think about it. He can't talk. I believe that he told us a lot this morning under the guise of speculation. And pretty much confirmed what I was saying, that this thing has been delayed because of Donald Trump. He's not allowed to tell much, but I am just saying right now that I heard it, I got it, message received, and if you guys want to go and read between the lines there, I think you'll get it too. So other than that, there was a lot of information while you were gone, and now I'm excited about what's going to happen next.
Right, and I was overwhelmed because I saw the stuff coming, and I couldn't really. I mean, that's not what I was there to talk about. So I was focused on the alien aspect of my life, and yeah, here's the thing, Jen, is Phil Godlewski basically came up with the same information that you did from completely different sources. At least we believe he's not watching our show and repeating what we say. He hinted at the RV. Didn't he post something about Riverside Valley capitalizing only the R and the V? Wasn't there something like that?
Yeah, it was like I went to Riverside High School, and our mascot was a Viking, and he didn't. The only capitalization
was R and V.
Was the R and the V.
So do you think? Let's ask the question of the Angels. It is Phil's big information the beginning of the RV, the currency revaluation. That was it. You're sure of that? Okay.
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay. I agree. I concur with that opinion. And that would have fit exactly the description of what he was talking about. But as we all know, it's elusive. But you've got all these people reporting their meeting with banks, and everybody's saying the process is starting, and first the bondholders go. Let me ask you another question. If somebody had the vaccine 6 months ago, and I kissed them, could I pick up a little vid from them? Okay.
No.
Because I have a scratchy throat, and I am taking my Ivan from Dr. Brooks Agnew. Okay, but I like last night, an hour before we landed, I started getting a scratchy throat, like you do before a cold. So, but you're saying
no. I'm not saying that this is true, but
not that I kissed anybody.
I gotta get this out. You know, you're talking about your throat and stuff, but I gotta get this out. I just got something while you were talking. There is a possibility that some people that have gone quiet signed something. Didn't we, haven't we heard that possibly if when some people are starting to go and do their exchanges, they sign an NDA?
Absolutely.
And how long does that NDA last?
Usually 90 days is what they're speculating for this event, but it could be longer. 2 years,
and he said, I was absolutely told not to say anything. And I don't know how long. I don't know for how long. Interesting. Could be false, but everything is pointing to this. They call everything just happening at once, like we've been told a long time ago, and this thing's happening right now. And if everybody's going quiet, also, Mark C put something out about farm loans being paid off.
And I have one thing. Can I jump in here?
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about it.
Because you do what you want. I need to check before I jump in. I forgot to add to that I ran your Trump information past Mark Z via text. Here, it's so amazing. Mark's in Puerto Rico. I'm in Manchester, England, on completely different time zones. Jen, and so it's like we're talking about stuff simultaneously worldwide, no matter what time zone it is. And Mark said, I asked him about Trump meeting with the Iraqi officials in Washington, D.C., and he said, that is exactly the information I got from my sources. First of all, Mark doesn't lie. He's a good man. He doesn't lie. That means he didn't listen to our show, or I don't know if we put it out. I don't know, Jen, if you put it out first or not.
I heard it first from Phil, I thought.
Okay.
Or somebody, I did not get that information that they were going. Someone asked me, are they meeting with Trump? I asked, and that's when I got the information as to why.
Okay. So Phil,
yes.
Phil or somebody else put it out first. I think it might have been somebody else, an RV person put it out first. That was what the meeting was about, and that he was in D.C. to meet with the Iraqi delegation and tell them to get their ass in gear and all that shit. And then you checked with the Angels, and they confirmed. And then I checked with Mark Z, and he said, yeah, that's exactly what I'm hearing from my banking and treasury sources. So we have 3 independent, at least, confirms on that. And now I think Phil's chiming in on that. So assuming Phil's getting...
No, it was Phil that I saw on Telegram, because he put out a post saying, where's Donald Trump today? And it was, kind of cryptic, but I got it. And so people were asking me if that was true. And so that's what I went in and asked about. And that's when I got that not only is that true, but why it was true and what they were there to do was to confirm, yeah, we've gotten this taken care of. Can we move forward now?
Right. That was your information, right? That was your gentle.
Yeah, and that led to me getting the information that Donald Trump is the primary financial negotiator for the alliance management team worldwide, which is his primary position all along, right? And the presidency was the secondary position.
Right. That's what you're going to hire Trump for, right? That's why you have a guy. That Donald Trump is the perfect man for that job, to represent the United States, if not the entire world, in this whole thing.
And now, okay, why did everyone respect him so much during that time?
The Saudis. Look at how they treated him.
If we go back and look at that tour of him visiting everybody, the way he was treated, everybody wanted him to agree to their terms and what they wanted, and they'll, come right in, and we're going to give you this wonderful welcome, and sit down to the banquet, and all this stuff. Makes sense.
Okay, now as to the other Marxie thing, yes, he posted or reposted an article that just came out about farmers being paid by the government. Now, part of Nasara Jasara, right, the whole big picture, there's different components of it. There's what they call the bond payouts, right, which we've talked about, the German bonds, the Golden Dragon bonds, the gold boxes, the stuff that the broker has, the golden guns, all that stuff. There's payouts involved with that. There's the St. Germain Trust, and there's these big church trusts, the Generals Group, the Admirals Group. There's what they call fines and penalties, which is where governments have been found guilty by international courts for stealing from their people, stealing from other people. There's something called CMKX, which was a stock which was destroyed by the cabal, short sold and destroyed by them. And those people have won their court case in international court 5 or 10 years ago, and they have to get paid back out of as part of this Nasara stuff. This is all supposed to be, I think, before we get to go. And then another one is the farm claims. The farmers sued the U.S. government, I believe, and the banks for basically fraud. Remember in the 1980s when all the farmers lost their farms and the big corporations came in and bought them up, and there were all those movies, those Jessica Lange movies about the farmers, I forget the name of them. It was a really big deal. Farm Aid, remember that? Willie Nelson doing Farm Aid to try to save the family farm. So all those people sued, and I believe in the 1990s they won in secret proceedings. And they have to be paid as part of the Nasara Jasara reconstruction process and making things good. The Aboriginal people get paid. The Indians are going to get something beyond the rights to open casinos, I guess, and get rich off of those. They're going to get paid. So out of the fines and penalties, the farm claims are part of what is called, I believe, the fines and penalties stage, which I think is the last stage before the farm claims have to be paid. Farmers have to be paid back for the land that was stolen from them and the fraudulent loans and all that stuff. So yeah.
Didn't Donald Trump in the beginning with his taxes do something about inheriting the farm?
Remember
that?
I don't.
If you really take a look at him in this position, and then the secondary position was stepping in as the President of the United States, which is important, so that he could travel around and have this position. If you take a look at everything he's done, that is kind of a missing piece that makes a lot of sense. Things got all these bits and pieces here and there and here and there and here and there, and it ties them all together. I mean, I don't know how much more evidence you need in what's happening present day, and what's happened before, and then the intel and the psychic intel that I get to put the pieces together. I mean, it's happening, people. That's just way too coincidental. What is it? Doesn't the Q post say, how many coincidences until it's mathematically impossible?
Yeah. Yeah. How many until it's mathematically impossible?
It's like, that's where I'm at right now. All these, my mind, when I hear something new, goes back to this and that and this and that, and it's really all coming together now. It's really making sense.
Yep, it is, and all the dominoes are falling into place. It's more like a Tetris game where all these different chunks. Oh, that's not going to fit. That's not going to fit. Oh, you flip it over and it fits. It's more like
that's why I said when I put out that information and I found out about that position from him, that it has always been about Jassara. Whether they call it that or not, it has always been. Everything that he has done was setting up and in line for that. Even possibly the idiot in the White House now. That's the red pill campaign right there, because it's showing you in real time and you're feeling it what has really been going on.
Right.
And why it needs to be stopped. And so, that had to happen. It also gave him cover to do what he had to do in his primary position behind the scenes without everybody knowing about it. Now, if he was still in that presidency right now, he'd be so monitored. He'd be so watched. There's no way he could communicate about all this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Scare not necessary.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so 600 people are in the stream right now. Good crowd for a Wednesday morning. Okay, Jen, we're waiting. Is Phil going to do a live, or is he now said I'm not doing a live until I have
he just did. I listened to it twice. And I'm like, because I listened to it first and I'm like, oh, and I kind of glazed over it like most people do. You take it at face value. And then I went, wait a minute. He is so sneaky. And then I went back and I listened again. Go back and listen again. I'm not going to say anything because can't. So I'm not going to do anything like that. But, I think he just told us the story right there. Just listen close.
Kenneth, I hear you. It should be 600,000 people on this stream. I agree with you. But you know what? We're a little group. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people a day. Sometimes on big shows, we get 15 or 16,000. See the information here? What you're getting here is closer to the truth than you're getting anywhere else. We're bringing it in from everywhere, including divine sources. So you're getting more here than you're going to get on any of these shows. So think of yourself as a privileged little group that gets to be the ones who are right about everything.
Yeah, share it. Cool. Share it.
I go ahead and share it, but it'll make it easier to make it easier to pay the rent. But you're lucky to be here. We're all lucky.
Would we be able to say all these things if we had 600,000 people?
Yeah. Would we be able to? Yeah, we'd get a lot more trolling. So be happy that you're here and that you get to know things that other people don't know.
And would I be in any kind of danger the way I come out and say all this stuff and out everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, don't kid yourself, Jen. There's a level of protection. There's a level of protection involved. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was just going to say, is that they make sure that I can do my job in a safe place. They've always, God, Jesus, the angels say, keep me in a safe place. And if that means, okay, well, you don't get as much business and you're not hurt as much at this point in time, there it is.
When I had Jenny Constantine on, and I was like, why am I not bigger? Why? On the alien front, I feel like I've got so much better information than this guy and that guy and the other, and I tell it better, and I'm a better storyteller, and everybody raves about everything I do, and they always do. Why am I? And she said, look, they're saving me. all these people are out in the public eye right now. They're all going to end up being wrong. So they don't want you out there being wrong. They want you to be there for when it really hits the fan on aliens, and you can tell everybody, you can get your audience then and tell everybody the way things really are. And I believe it's the same thing with you and me on the show. I think when things really happen, everybody's going to realize, everybody's going to go, well, wait, what about these people? They've been talking about this all along. So, and they give us enough to sustain ourselves, for sure.
Yeah.
Like when I asked for help last month, and oh my gosh, did I get help? I have to go back and make a list. I have to go back and make a. What? You just call me a moron?
No. There's a delay, and there's the stream is skipping. I said Uncle Ron.
Uncle Ron.
Moron.
Uncle Ron and
That's funny.
moron.
Yeah.
Uncle Ron and Kathy and Karen and
Oh, that's funny.
so many other Wendy. So many wonderful people that have contributed. I appreciate you.
Yeah, but that's one thing that I know is that they protect me.
Mm-hmm.
They do. I've got a long life, and I got a lot to teach, and I got a lot to do, and a lot of people to help, and it's not like this is my part. This is what I've decided to do, and sometimes I don't get information because it would put me in danger. Mm-hmm. And they do. They protect me. So,
Arlene Holland. I was Holland in Holland yesterday. Yeah, incursion or excursion. So what we're looking for, Jen, is we're not looking for the imminent financial collapse this week necessarily. We're looking for these meetings. We're looking for action from Iraq, and then we're looking for some sort of action in the China Sea. Right? There's going to be some action there. And you said excursion. Could it have been incursion? Because that's what they usually call it. The United States would like an incursion in the Chinese waters.
It could be. It's just you're hearing something. I was hearing him. So, sometimes it sounds like, and I write down what it sounds like. So
right. Okay, so just double checking that. So, Mike, you spend too much time at 36,000 feet, brain warp. Yeah, that's probably it. Maybe I can do a show tomorrow with all the pics and stories. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. If I feel up to it, guys. With jet lag, you think you're all feeling good and you're right back on it, and then the next day you wait. You can't wake up, can't open your eyes. You can see great. How short am I? I'm not short. Those people are giants. I'm 5'10". Adam must be 6'4". I'm not sure. I'm not short at all. I'm not short at all. Those are real photos. Those are not real photos of Whitley's friends. Those were how they were depicted in the film version of his book, Communion, which I do recommend if you can get Communion on a streaming service like Netflix, that you watch it. It's scary, but it's a pretty close to the true story of what happened to Whitley. And he's such a good, Jen, he's such a good person, and he's so genuine. And he's taken so much abuse, and there's just no. I disagree with. There's a few things that he says the aliens told him that I don't buy, but I mean his contributions to not only the UFO community but to the world are tremendous, and he deserves a lot more in return than what he's received.
Yeah, I bet. I didn't read his book. I don't know much more than what I saw in those pictures, but what I saw in the pictures, I don't like. I don't like it.
No, he doesn't take photos. That was just part of the movie. Victoria loves scotch. Well, we'll find out if I do. Next Whiskey and Wisdom. I was actually at the Manchester airport at the duty free, and I texted Mark to see if he wanted me to pick him up anything exotic, and he didn't. He was asleep, so I didn't get a chance. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Should we do some advertising, Jen?
Sure.
We should. I'm sorry. Okay. Again, 600 some of you in the live stream. These will be taken down off of YouTube almost immediately. Instead, we will put them up over at mikebera.blogspot.com. and it will be it'll be right there on mikebear.blogspot.com, or you can go directly to the Rumble site, open up a Rumble account, and subscribe to Real News Live. Also, please do not forget to patronize our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus. Go to the wholesale tab, go down to Mike B Wholesale, type in the wholesale password, which is what, Jen? ALIEN. Alien.
Correct.
Type in Alien, and you can get this week's specials from the CBD Gurus on all of their wonderful health products. You also get special extra bottles. You get 6 million Bolivar if you spend $100. Wow, that's a lot. So we got the super full spectrum oils, the gummies. Trust me, this stuff works. The Miracle Gold, the dark chocolates, the Delta 9s. All this cool stuff that I don't really understand, except I understand that it works. So the CBDgurus.com, where you can get all kinds of cool products for your health, and they all work really, really well. Jen, what's going on over at jenniferfallah.com? Right
Well,
now?
for the weight loss healings, we are getting a...
Jen, what's this? You can ask questions now? This is cool. Chat.
Yeah, but I'm not like right there to answer. It goes to an email to me. So yes, you can ask questions.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to type a question while you're doing.
Okay. Good. So anyway, I just had like my brain just like died. I don't know what just happened there.
Right.
Anyway.
Sorry.
So we the weight loss healings, we're having a wonderful. I'm just getting daily. I'm getting people saying, "Oh my God, Jen, I lost 10 pounds. Oh my God, I lost 6 pounds. It's been a week and it's working." So this really is something that what I've added into this now. It's like as I go along, what people are doing is they're doing it once a month. But another thing I'm adding to it is. My thought is like if your grandma had to watch her weight, and your mom had to watch her weight, and then now you have to watch your weight, your kids have to watch your weight. I'm thinking it has something to do with the way you're made. I think it has something to do with your DNA too. So now I'm asking God to change that in the DNA. I'm not doing it; He is. And so basically, we're doing a weight loss healing, a DNA cleanse, attachment removal. I mean, this is like the mother lode of everything and the weight loss. And so, and a talk with your soul that works kind of like hypnosis. Tell the soul, do not save waste and toxins and things that you cannot identify as fat. And so that's my goal with this. And I'm excited because it's working. Now, I have had one person who said it didn't work. And I'm like, well, eating like a whole pizza and a bag of Halloween candy, because what's going to happen in your mind when you do that? You're going to say, oh, I'm going to gain weight from this. And so you're overriding what I'm trying to do with the subconscious. So quit fighting it. Help yourself. Anyway, I put up a 3-month deal for the weight loss healing. That is available now. I have a 5-people deal for the DNA toxin cleanse, for the vaccines, healing, full body healing, mother load healing. You can get it for 5 people. Lots of good stuff over at jenniferfallah.com right now. I don't have any other specials that I can think of, but really focusing on healings right now. I've been doing a lot of them, but really working on it. There's a love button there. If you like what I've said, if I make your life better, throw me a little love there. There are still classes available. These will come to you as videos you can own via WeTransfer, probably within 24 hours of purchasing. And I also have the interdimensional meditation classes, which will teach you how to do what I do. And those are available now too.
Yes, here. All right. Cool. And I guess I have some sort of a love button, you could call it too. I'm on CashApp at $MBara33 and Zelle MBara33 at MSN.com. I've also had people ask me for a mailing address. I've given them a mailbox address they can send to, and people kindly sent me checks, and including Uncle Ron, who's super awesome, and there are a lot of people, Karen, and a lot of people who deserve. Karen, thank you for everything. So if you would like to help me buy a new laptop for my travels for next year, or replace my CPAP machine that are now just empty boxes. God, have you ever noticed, Jen, the packaging on stuff is so cool now that I don't want to throw it away. I mean, look at how cool this packaging is. It slides out and it fits perfectly, and it's just like, I don't know, it's too awesome. Anyway.
That's what happens when you get older. You know, older people like to keep things.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
$sign MBarrett33 and MBarrett33 at MSN on Zelle. Okay.
You know what's funny is that my grandpa, when we cleaned out the garage, you go in his garage, kept all the Velveeta boxes, okay, from like 30 years, and that's his entire workbench held all the screws and nuts and bolts and everything, all in Velveeta boxes. They make them a lot better, you know. But
yeah. Well, yeah, but it is really cool. Okay, let's go through some more of the questions. Biden declares war without Congress. Kamswala resigns. Pelosi's not qualified or arrested for corruption. Leahy's dead. Grassley takes over. But it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way unless, you know, the Republicans have control of the Senate, which if Kamala resigns, then they might have a one, and Leahy's dead for a brief moment. They have a 1-seat advantage in the Senate, so that would make the president.
Wait a minute. If Leahy dies, Kamala, then Pelosi. But he said Pelosi is disqualified for involvement.
Kamala.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What?
Well, I froze up. First he said Pelosi is disqualified. Okay. And then when we were going through the rundown, disqualified for involvement. And then he went on to talk about Pelosi being the leader of the one behind the scenes pulling the strings on the Obama administration, or on the Biden administration. So we'll see how that turns out. But either way, Pelosi's not going to step in as president.
Thank you, Ernest Rutland. Yeah, interesting. Does the incursion or I think it's incursion is what Jen heard, but she went with excursion in the Yellow Sea have anything to do with Pelosi going to Taiwan and South Korea last August?
No, this is coming. This is something we hear about.
Yeah, well, is that the next thing we should look for in the news, do you think? Is some sort of international incident?
I would look for anything going on around North and South Korea, yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Yellow Sea.
The Yellow Sea. Okay, I'll check it out. Jen, thank you, Ernest Rutland, again. Jen said yesterday the Dow will be 18,000. She is so right. After the election date, the market will fall to 17,900, then way up thanks to Trump on June 2nd, 2023. The Dow will be 17,900. I don't think that's not an improvement. It's not good. I think you mistyped something there.
Yeah.
Linda Ransom, I injured my knee, went to urgent care, and the medical doctor had the sticky thing. You know what that is. And I had bruises around my knee where he touched me the last 6 months. I took the Ivan, but it took a while, but it did eventually clear it up. Linda, you need a cleanse, DNA cleanse from Jen. So, actually, my friend.
So the bruises lasted for 6 months.
Yeah. And then it cleared up after she took the Ivan.
The sticky thing. I don't really know what she's asking there. I think it's just a comment.
I'm drinking Dutch water right now. Maybe that's what I need to do is get a healing for Mumtaz, who took the vaccinations. A DNA cleanse. Can I buy that off you for her?
Send me the info.
Send you a picture. You could pick up spike proteins if you're around somebody who was recently vaxxed. Well, she wasn't recently vaxxed. It was 6 months ago or 2 years ago or a year ago. Wolvie video today says the bonds are going now, but Tier 4B. Mark is also hearing the bonds are going now, but he says they were supposed to be done by Friday and they weren't done. Then he posted a sort of retraction on the dates. Makes me think it will go soon. Go ahead.
I asked today, just for personal reasons. I said, God, do you think that by Christmas, all these people asking me about the RV, and me too, will have our money? And that was a definite yes at Christmas. So,
Eastern Orthodox Christmas or traditional Western
quit it.
Christmas?
Stop it. God.
Trump did say did away with farm family estate taxes. Yeah, that was part of what was killing them too, the farmers that they sued for. So yes, that's true. You did do that. Go ahead, Jen. You had something you were going to say? Going to add? No.
No, it's just when you start talking about that, I see bits and pieces of that. How that this whole farm thing is important, and it's the beginning of. Didn't you say something like that? It's the beginning of reimbursements.
Yeah, of redemptions of people that were stolen from. Yeah, in large groups. Let's go over to Rumble. Chris says, I lost my iPad at the Dallas airport and I called them and made a report, and 2 months later they sent it to me. That's the thing, Jen. Am I going to get either one of those machines back, the CPAP or the laptop? Am I going to get it back from the airport or no?
I do something coming. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's the CPAP.
Okay, so I shouldn't rush out and buy a replacement for them. Then I should wait, see what happens.
I think it takes a while. So if you need it now, I'd get it.
Well, I don't need it now. It's for travel. It's for long distance travel.
Oh yeah, then you can wait. You can wait.
Yeah, I'm not doing that until June. So I mean, that's the thing is, I want to go out and replace them right away. But then I think, well, I actually don't need to until the next time I travel for business.
Yeah, I'd wait. I think you get something back. I see it.
Yeah,
at the front door.
I don't have anything scheduled till March.
Pretty sure what I'm seeing you receive at the front door was sent to you and not purchased by you. But I do see you getting something at the front door. I think it's the CPAP.
Oh yeah, I love it when you tell me information like that. It makes me happy. Okay. See what other questions are there. Mad Hat says Whitley Strieber single-handedly forced people to wake up to this stuff. Alien visitation. I've had experiences all my life. Seeing craft in the sky. He was also taking more shit for it than anyone. He has, and it's like he's this guy who had the courage to put himself out there and got rid. The South Park people just viciously attacked him over stuff that happened to him that was really, not funny. And by the way, I want you guys to admonish me. If I make any more anal probe jokes about aliens, I want you to admonish me and remind me that a very nice person went through some very bad experiences, and I shouldn't be making a joke about that. So please admonish me for that. And it ruined him. I mean, his book sales just collapsed after South Park did this whole satire on him and called him a liar and all this stuff, and he went bankrupt. Lost his cabin in the woods, lost his house, after he'd built an incredible career writing novels and screenplays and nonfiction about the visitors.
Do you know why? You want to know why? Do you want to know why he was attacked for that?
Yeah.
Remember when I did the remote viewings to go beneath the surface in certain parts of our planet? Yeah. And when I went down under Idaho, I saw the grays, these little gray guys, and I saw that they are here under the surface. They're the ones with the little saucers. Okay, they're the ones abducting people. They're working for and contracted by the cabal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're also doing things like drilling into the earth, they're the worker bees. Okay? So if he's coming out and notifying the public this is happening, and it causes other people to come out and say this is happening to me. Now I triggering memories of others, because what they do is they wipe your memory. Or they give you some fanciful, oh, I had such a wonderful time with aliens. No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't. Okay, they took part of you. They took your juice, they took your stuff, they took your pieces of you, whatever DNA they needed, and they're going to follow you around. Okay? And they're gonna follow your DNA line to your children and everybody else, and they're gonna abduct them because you are like cattle to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I witnessed is that it was done in a very humane way, as if you were handling an animal that you did not want to hurt too bad or traumatize too bad, because you got to come back and you're gonna get more stuff from that animal, right? That's what I saw. And if they are truly contracted by the cabal, reptilians, whatever you want to call it, and we see all these sightings here on Earth. Now, I do believe there are things that come here from other planets and stuff like that, but a lot of it's coming from under the ground.
Yeah.
And they're going out collecting whatever the cabal wants from them to do whatever. Okay? That is why when he came out and he started getting big, they destroyed him. So
when he started to get big, they destroyed him. Interesting. Do you know, there's a story, and I asked him about it, that he had a friend who was actually worked for, I think it was his agent or worked for his publisher. And when Communion first came out, which was the first book with the alien face on it, I told him I showed him my alien tattoo, and I said, "You should have trademarked that, Whitley." And he said, "Oh no." He said, "They told me if I ever tried to profit from some way like that, that it would go very terribly for me." So he never did. But this guy was at a New York bookstore, and in walked these two extremely short people talking in Jewish accents with big, thick sunglasses on and scarves and big hats and overcoats. And they start flipping through the book at an incredibly fast speed, and they're laughing and saying, "Oh, you got that wrong. You got that wrong." Through Communion. He's so stupid. He didn't realize what we were doing there, and on and on and on and on, and laughing. And the guy was the agent or the publisher, worked for the publisher, I forget. And he wanted to know what they liked or didn't like about the book. He said, "Excuse me, I'm the publisher of this book. What do you..." And they pulled it down, and he saw the alien eyes, and he got this "get away" thing.
Oh my God, I would die.
He backed off and said to his wife, "We need to get out of here." And they turned around and left the store. And then he saw them finish flipping through the book, and then they went out and went down the street. In New York, just like two little itty bitty pretend Jewish women, but they were aliens. And I said, "Whitley, it's so bizarre that nobody noticed." He goes, "That story is absolutely true. I believe my friend." And then he showed me a video of about 6 people like intertwining with each other and passing each other like a basketball.
Yeah.
At the end of it, I go, "Oh, that was, you're trying to track how many passes were there." And he goes, "So, Mike, how many passes were there?" And I said, "Oh, I think 16. I think I counted 16." And he goes, "Oh, did you see the gorilla?" And I went, "What?" And he goes back and he shows it to me. And during the middle of this whole thing, a guy walks through in a black gorilla suit, and you don't even see it. And he said, "That's why people don't see the aliens. They're among us all the time, but we're so focused on the mundane stuff that we're supposed to be seeing that we don't see them." And it's interesting because in The Choice, that's what I said about in The Choice, is that's what's going to change, is all of a sudden people are going to start going, "Was that an alien that just walked by me?" Like when I was out, I was out jogging once in Redondo Beach, and this guy in great shape, no shirt, tight shorts, comes jogging along the other way, and he makes eye contact with me like, "Fuck you, don't talk to me." And I was like, okay, I had about 5 steps past him, and I went, "Fuck, that was Christian Bale. That was Batman. That was Christian Bale."
Wow.
Just passed right by me in California, in Redondo Beach. It's the same thing. Aliens are going to walk by, and we're going to get about 5 steps, and we're going to go, "Was that an alien that just walked by me?" So anyway, it was great. I'll show you the video.
That
I'll
is
try to
cool.
show the video tomorrow. But anyway, sorry, I don't want to keep Jen too much longer. All
I
right.
don't know. I would probably just like so two things would happen if that happened to me. What happened to that guy? I would either, because I'm always surprised at my reaction to stuff. Sometimes I would either like pass out, die, or I would attack him. Because like I can't go to like haunted houses, right?
Yeah.
Because I look like this sweet somebody's mom, right? Sweet little mom. That's what I look like. That's what everybody thinks I am, and I try to be. But if I go to haunted houses and people jump out at me and scare the crap out of me, I hit them.
Yeah.
So I'm not allowed there.
The mama bear takes over, and you
I react. It's a reaction.
Get away from your kids, you creep. Yeah.
It's like, oh,
You're
sorry.
Get away from me. Yeah.
Crap, I punched your actor.
Well,
sorry.
Maybe that's why you don't ever see them. We may be a little group, but we are the cream of the crop. Kathy E, you are correct. That's what I'm trying to say. That says what I said better than I said it. Wolverine video today says bonds are going now, but Tier 4B may be weeks away. Then he posts a sort of retraction on the dates. Makes me think we'll go sooner. Remember, nobody knows the whole picture. The best picture you're going to get is probably here, where we put everything together and tell you why this makes sense and that doesn't. These guys are simply repeating what they're told. And they may have reasons for telling Wolverine it's going to be a couple weeks, or it may be that his sources simply think that's the truth. But it may not be. Remember, Kuwait revalued in 1998 after the first invasion of Iraq in 1991. They were invaded. Their currency was just like the Iraqi dinar was created by the U.S., printed in the U.S. Treasury, and they came out with a public statement. It was in all their newspapers, and they made an official statement. We're not going to be revaluing our currency for at least 2 or 3 years. 3 hours later, it revalued. And at that time, all of a sudden, the United States budget deficit disappeared. And we had all this extra surplus money to put out Bush bucks. Interesting how that happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will there be an attempted false flag before the election, Jen? Get anything on that? False flag by meaning some sort of... I don't think there's going to have to be any false flags. They're all going to be real, right?
Well, we're looking at the Yellow Sea, and...
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a lot of activity before the election, but I don't really think we're gonna have like, oh my God, we've been bombed kind of thing. No.
Thomas Klein says, Jen, my son TC is having a bad time at his job. Will he be okay? Well, he'll always be okay unless he gets killed or something. But will his situation improve? Will TC?
He just needs to be patient with the process, okay? And that's what Gabriel said. Tell him to be patient with the process.
Right. Ernest, thank you. Thank you for the contribution, buddy, and thank you. I'm glad you look forward to the show. I'm sorry when I miss it, but sometimes circumstances are unavoidable. Christine says this is the Unthick Christine. Thank you for your contributions too. Wonderful one. Have you considered a later show? Yeah, I used to, but the problem is when I do a show later in the evening, it feels like this thing is hanging over me all day. Whereas I like to get up in the morning, get to the morning news, pull everything together. It's great time for Jen because she's not exhausted from the end of the day. She's fresh, and fit, and all that stuff. So, yeah.
I don't know. Fit I am.
You're pretty fit.
Fresh is correct.
So, Jen.
I got to get going, though. I do have other stuff because we started late.
I'm not going to let you go, though, Jen. If there are med beds and we all naturally begin to lose the excess fat that we don't need anymore, do any of us need to work out? maybe we never have to torture ourselves with weights unless we want to look really extra special strong or something.
Well, I think that when that happens, people will be more energetic. They will feel better. They won't have as many injuries or illnesses, and they'll want to do the things that they used to do when they were younger, and so they'll be more active and probably won't have to work out. Yeah.
Oh, I see we have a private dating chat girls thing here online. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. We got you about 90. Wrap it up. We got you about 90 minutes. I'm still jet lagged, so I'm probably going to fall asleep at 2 in the afternoon and sleep until 10 at night. It's going to be a little weird. I think it's a good idea to maybe come on tomorrow at some point. I didn't mean to click on that. At some point tomorrow. That's okay. You don't have to. I'm not talking gentle. I'm talking about just telling people stories from the trip. I'd love it if you watched it because there's so many wonderful stories, and it's hard to express what a wonderful person Whitley Strieber is in terms of given everything he's gone through. You can catch up on everything Jen's doing and get readings from her on jenniferfallah.com. YouTube is Jennifer Fallah Doring, where yesterday's show and Friday's show are still up, correct? Yes. Philosophy on Telegram, the very popular philosophy channel on Telegram and Philosophy Chat. And she's also on Truth Social, but that's not much. Guys, if I'm going to have enough stamina to do 2 shows on Friday, given I'm still going to be jet lagged, I might not do tomorrow's show, but I'll try. And my love button, Cash App, $ mbara33, and Zelle, MBARA33 at MSN.com. Jen, thanks for coming on after doing yesterday's show. Appreciate having you here. Appreciate every single one of you guys out there. Thanks for being here. Any final thoughts before we hit the road, Jennifer?
Not a one. Just hang in there. And go back and listen to Phil's little video.
And Phil's video, it's on Telegram.
Yeah, and if you did not watch my shows from Friday or Tuesday and you want to know what the lineup is and what's coming, go to Jennifer Fallah Doring on YouTube or Beacon of Light Radio. I think I streamed both of them to that on YouTube. They're still there.
Okay, and I'll try to change your Chiron here so it has Beacon of Light Radio as opposed to Philosophy. All right, great. Thank you guys for being here. Love you. I'm going to go take a nap and catch up on sports, and I love you all. And I will see you on no later than Free Reading Friday, maybe tomorrow. We shall see. Love you guys. Have a great one.